What's going on, guys? We're back here, Connor Mark Show here on YouTube page. Please subscribe to our YouTube page to keep up with all our videos, as well as follow us on social media at Connor Mark Show. We are back. It's the NFL season now is about to be underway. We're recording this on a Tuesday. The NFL will begin on Thursday. We'll be breaking down predictions for that game, as well as the whole NFL season, and just breaking down predictions, lines that we like to see, and other things we like to see. So, Mark, how you doing? How's this Tuesday going for you? And are you excited for some football that's going to be happening in the NFL starting Thursday?
I cannot wait for this season to, finally start. The draft draft leading up to this makes it very exciting for this season to start. So Thursday night we get a great matchup. I know, like you said, we're recording this on Tuesday, so we'll have this out before the game on Thursday. But other than the game on Thursday, I'm real excited to dive into these teams, see what, some teams might take over the division from other teams last year. So just a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype. And obviously the Eagles on Sunday is the, best thing coming up here. So I'm excited to dive in and talk a little football here.
No, I definitely agree. And we'll be breaking down the Eagles game Saturday morning. We have a 2-hour show instead of our 1-hour show. So it'll be 9 a.m. on Saturday morning to 11 a.m. We'll have multiple guests. We'll probably announce that later in the week around Thursday. We'll announce who's going to be on the show, breaking down Eagles, breaking down college football, everything going on in sports world. So starting off, Mark, before we get into the predictions for the NFL season, we're going to be starting with the game Thursday. The Eagles will not be playing. They'll be waiting until Saturday or Sunday, like we said, but it is a division rival going down to face defending Super Bowl champions. So the Dallas Cowboys will be going on the road to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. I believe Tampa Bay's favored by 8 points last time I checked. Dallas Cowboys going in as underdogs. They are going to be without Zach Martin, their all-pro right guard for the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be a huge loss for their offensive line, and it's going to have a major impact probably on the game about how well Dak Prescott's going to be able to have protection in the pocket. And so we're looking at the line. I'm really excited, obviously, just for the NFL season to get underway. But Mark, this Cowboys team coming off a really disappointing season. They had a great offense before Dak's injury, which took him out the whole season, his ankle injury, but their defense was one of the worst in the NFL. They really didn't make a whole lot of upgrades, I think, on the defense side of the ball. They still have a pretty weak defense, but their offense is one of the best in the league, especially with Dak Prescott back and healthy. And they're going to be going on the road to face, obviously, Tom Brady, the defending Super Bowl champions. Their high-powered offense, their loaded defense, all-around good team. What do you make of this matchup going into Thursday, and what things are you looking at going into the game?
Yeah, I mean, the defense is the number one thing that you have to look at on this Dallas team. They obviously have the names up and down the lineup on the offensive end. Obviously some guys on their offensive side, underperformed last year. Zeke Elliott, all started from Prescott really getting hurt, in my opinion. And then obviously the great talent they have on the outside in Gallup, Cooper, and Lamb, who's emerging into a star. But like you said, man, this defense has not really had much turnover or change, other than obviously the defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, now going to Dan Quinn, who, does have a good defensive scheme and mind from his past, experiences. But this team was really, as you said, bad and historically bad last year. Just taking a look at the numbers here, 5 yards per attempt, 158 rushing yards averaged against per game, and gave up 20 total rushing touchdowns last year. So, just to start on the ground, it looks like they didn't really do much again to really improve on that defensive line. They obviously added Micah Parsons, a high draft prospect here, but really what I'm getting at here is both high-powered offenses, and Tampa Bay doesn't need to be spoken about too much. Obviously, Tom Brady and what he's done throughout his career and continues to do, and returning pretty much everyone on that offensive core from last year. So I really, other than the line in this game, the biggest thing that I'm looking at is the over. And I know everyone loves the over, especially game one of the NFL season. So this game,
two high-powered offenses,
definitely two high-powered guys that can sling it, great receivers, and again, Tampa Bay, I know they have one of the best defenses coming in the league, but when you go up against a guy like Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb, definitely gonna have to game plan a little deeper than you would for most teams. So with that, the over's at 51.5 at this time. I love it. So if you do listen to this before the game on Thursday, that would be my pick. And if we had to go with spread, I'm going with Tampa Bay at home -8 all day. Again, I just think this team's going to win by 2 touchdowns. And I just don't think that this defense can really hold up. And before I throw it back to you, the biggest thing that I'm, taking a look at, and I feel like it's flying under the radar a little because, you don't want this to get out of the bag if there really is something worse. But this Dak Prescott injury, I don't think it's fully healed. I know some of the reports that came out in the past days said he's ready to go. He's fully healthy. Again, I'm not really buying it, but we'll definitely see on Thursday, obviously, of how he performs. But again, Dak Prescott's the leader, the heart, the soul of that team. And when we saw he went down last year, they really struggled to, revive the, expectations of this team. So again, my pick's going to be -$8 and definitely take that over. And again, I think the Bucs are going to come out here. After all the pregame celebrations for the Super Bowl and just pick up where they left off last year.
Yeah, the Dallas thing, because it gained a little bit of steam, I believe, like a couple weeks ago when he suffered the injury. I know Adam Schefter said that it's not healthy now, and it probably won't be 100% healthy the whole season. So it sounds like something that could linger the whole year, and probably, unless he got surgery, would not regain full health, which probably meant that he'd be out for a long period of time. He just didn't want to deal with that. He said, let's just play through it. So, and it is his throwing shoulder, I believe, right? So that's huge. Like, that's probably the biggest injury you can have as a quarterback. Your throwing arm's not 100% healthy. So and that's partly why I didn't pick the Dallas Cowboys to win the division. I know they're the favorite to win the division, betting wise, but I just don't, if Dak Prescott, like we saw, if he goes down and he's not 100% healthy, this team's going to fold because it relies a lot on their offense. He's a big part of it, obviously, and their defense. I just don't think they improved enough. And going to the matchups, I like going in this game for Tampa Bay. It's their wide receivers. You got Chris Godwin, Penn State guy, obviously a great player. They have Mike Evans. I believe they have Antonio Brown still, right? Or is he a free agent?
Yeah, they brought him back, I believe, on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, so I know that's the 3 guys they have. I don't know the rest of their wide receivers.
Can't forget about Scotty Miller, man, and also
your guy,
Scotty Miller, my guy, and another good guy. And I don't mean to cut you off, but just in regards to fantasy, I know we're gonna release this on Thursday with the game coming on Thursday, but throughout the season, Tyler Johnson from Minnesota is also a really good
wide receiver. He's a good player.
Yeah, so they have talent up and down. That receiving room.
Well, it's easy when Tom Brady's throwing to you, so
just get open and don't drop it.
Yeah, but looking at the cornerbacks they have and the guys who have to cover, because they also have O.J. Howard and Gronk still at tight end, which is just, they have a lot of weapons. They have this Dallas's defense in their secondary, Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown, and then as their nickel cornerback, they have Jordan Lewis. That's not a great cornerback group. They have no, I know they lost Byron Jones a couple of years ago, and they really haven't regained that top guy in a secondary. And that's a tough matchup to go against Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who are just really good route runners. They're big in size. They're fast. It's going to be tough. Also, they have at safety Donovan Wilson and DeMonte Kazi. I believe Kazi is a rookie they drafted. They also have Malik Hooker, which is a high draft pick a couple of years ago from the Colts, but I don't think he's anything special. So, and that's going to be, I don't know who's going to be covering, the tight ends as well. I know they have a good linebacking group with, recently added Micah Parsons, Van Der Esch, and Jalen Smith, but it's a tough matchup to cover these guys. And Brady, if he has time to throw, it's really going to be vital for this front for the Cowboys, with DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory and these guys up front to get to the quarterback and get to Tom Brady and hit him. But they don't have a great pass rush either. Like, DeMarcus Lawrence is a good player, but he was recently viewed as like a star, but I don't think he's that great. Randy Gregory's been in and out of the lineup. He's had his problems off the field. They just don't have a lot of great guys on defense. I think Micah Parsons is going to be a great player if he keeps his head on straight and he worries about football. He obviously has some off-field issues, his whole career, but when he's been on the football field, like we saw at Penn State, he's just a dominant player, and I think he has a chance to be one of the better linebackers in the NFL. But outside of that, outside their linebacking spot, they don't have a great defense. It's probably bottom half, close to the end of the league, and close to the bottom of the league, and that's why I don't have them win a division. So, as it pertains to Thursday, 8 points is a lot, especially in a shootout, but I definitely think it's going to be right around that. I definitely think Tampa Bay wins. So I'll give my prediction. I think Tampa Bay wins 38-32. I may give, Cowboys a little bit room to cover, but it's right around there. I think they win. It's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be what Roger wants, I guess, what the NFL wants, a lot of action the first night. So, but I really think this matchup bodes well for Tampa Bay. I think they get out of, this week one with a win.
Yeah, and again, I totally agree. I mean, just going in depth there about the defensive backs before we move on here for Dallas. I mean, losing Byron Jones was a huge, loss to that already. Suffering secondary. They didn't really have anyone below him. And I believe they're trying to make Trayvon Diggs that next guy. And again, just drafted, played his first year last year. And a lot of, one of the biggest things is, a lot of these rookies that came in last year, all of these rookies are a step behind than really anyone else that's come into this league in the past, 20 years or so with no training camp, no OTAs, no rookie camp, none of that stuff preseason. And it just a very, unorthodox kind of off season. So, in saying that, it's going to take him possibly a little longer to develop than some of these other guys. And not saying that COVID hurt every rookie, but at the defensive back position, when you're supposed to be the number one guy, it might take you a little bit longer. So, again, just to recap here, Tampa -8, I think, and over 51.5. I think that over is going to be the play, and I really think that over is going to hit. I'm making a bold prediction here, but I think by the first half, it might be a 28-24 game or something.
I really
like
hope
that.
You're right. That'll really start the NFL season for us Eagles fans great. So
I think it's going to be very high scoring. I mean, I'm just thinking about the defensive backs.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to stop
on Tampa too. I mean, they have Winfield. They have a few of the guys are running my name. I think Murphy Bunning might be his last name. One of those. Those guys.
Well, we saw in the Super Bowl, man. They have great linebackers. Avonte David's a great linebacker who can get to the quarterback. I think Dominic Sue's going to be back. He's going to be ready to go. They just have a lot of big names up, in their defense. So yeah. So I really think this game has a chance to be a blowout, and it's not going to be in Dallas's favor. It's going to be in Tampa Bay's favor. So it's going to have to ride on Dak Prescott to be able to go out there and throw like 4 touchdowns at least.
So I totally agree. They're going to have to match the offense.
And Elliott's not the same player he once was. So now that's why I get to see a lot of Tony Pollard, I think, this year, just because they don't. That's why I stay away from him in fantasy.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I totally agree with that point as well in regards to Tony Pollard. I think he's going to be heavily relied on this year. Obviously, Zeke's going to get the majority of the carries just because he is the number one at this point, in my opinion, still in Dallas. But I think they're gonna try to groom Pollard and rely on him, to be the second running back, maybe 1A, 1B with Zeke. So should be a great matchup.
I agree. All right. Before we head into predictions for the NFL season, I do, because you brought it up before the show, you want to give out a betting prediction for this Sunday. So I'll go first because I saw one actually, jumped at me right away. I was kind of surprised to see the line. So New England is facing Miami this weekend, and New England is favored by 2.5. I'm going to go Miami outright. So I really think that Miami is going to win this game. I think they have the better team. It's the first game for a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. I know it's at home, which I guess that's the reason why they're favored by 2.5. But I think Tua Tagovailoa is kind of a bounce back season. I like their offense. I'm really excited to see what Jalen Waddle can do. Devontae Parker's a nice player, and their defense is one of the best in the league. They have a lot of guys on their defense who can play. So I actually think not only is Miami going to cover, they're going to win outright on Sunday and beat the New England Patriots.
I mean, I like that prediction. I think, in regards to the Patriots, obviously a lot of news circulating them with the all-season additions and stuff like that. One of the bigger deductions, and I don't think a lot of people realize was the departure of Sonny Michel. I know they got Damian Harris there. I know they have James White, and I believe they saw Burkhead. But I thought Michel was a great, catcher of the ball from the backfield and a good runner. So I think that's going to hurt the running back room a little bit. I think they're going to be looking at Harris to lead them. But I think there's just a lot of hype around this team. Also, I am surprised in that line because I know Stephon Gilmore is on the PUP list.
Yeah, he's not even playing. Yeah, I think physically, he's out 4 weeks, I think.
So it's 6 weeks, the PUP list. Okay. So he's not even going to be in until week 6. So I
That's
like
a big
that.
Loss.
Yeah, I do like that pick. And my early line that I love is going to be the Packers. Well, it's at the Saints, supposed to be at the Saints, but
where's it at? Is it
It's going to be at the Jaguar Stadium,
Okay.
TIAA Bank Field. Again, I just believe to the Hurricanes and stuff like that down there. But
Yeah.
Packers -4, I think that's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
And even if this game was at the Mercedes Superdome, I still think it's odd because the Packers played in the Saints stadium last year. They were on the road, so again, I think this Packers team's back. Obviously, Rodgers is back, and that's that's the juggernaut of this team, him and Adams. So I think that connection is going to be getting going early, and I think Packers are going to. I think they'll win by 3 touchdowns over the Saints. I just don't think they're the team, obviously, that they were a few years ago. So
I agree.
Packers -4. I love that line.
Well, as we get into predictions, Mark, I'm loving Packers this year. As I know, we were going to be going through our predictions for the whole NFL season. So we're just going to do division winners and then MVP, offensive rookie year, defensive rookie of the year, and then AFC, NFC matchup in Super Bowl, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'll start it off. So I'll start with the AFC, then I'll let you do your AFC. So the AFC, I'll start with the AFC East. I got the Bills winning the division 12-5. I love what Josh Allen did with his new addition with Stephon Diggs last year. They have a great offense and a great defense. They're well coached by Sean McDonough. And they really have, a talented team. And it's going to be a tougher division this year. They got Miami. I think they'll have a good year. New England, I think we'll have a bounce back year as well. And the Jets are the Jets, so I don't expect them to be contending. So I like the Bills this year, having a 12-5. I still think they're going to have a good year after last year's breakout season for that team. And I think they're going to be back in the playoffs again. So I have them win the AFC East, AFC North. I have the Cleveland Browns winning it. It's a tough division, I think, with the Ravens, the Steelers. I still think they're a good team. They have good defense. And then who am I going to say? The Cincinnati Bengals too, which I don't think they'll win the division, but they, Joe Burrow. They have a lot of good wide receivers. I think Burrow will have a good sophomore year after getting injured last year. It's still a tough division, but I think looking at all the teams like Cleveland, that defense got a lot better, and I think that Baker can get them to a 12-5 record. I don't have a lot of confidence in the playoffs, but they still have a really good team. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs is no surprise. I think that I have them going 14-3. High-powered offense. Andy Reid does a great job. Patrick Mahomes, it's a no-brainer pick for me. And maybe the Broncos, I don't think they'll contend. The Raiders, I don't think they'll contend. And who am I missing in that division? I always forget the
Broncos, Raiders, Chargers.
So, and listen, I think Herbert's gonna have a good year. I know you think he's gonna have a great year, but I think that Justin Herbert, I think that team's good. I think they'll probably be the closest team to contend with them. I just don't think they're there yet, and that's gonna take a little while for them to catch up with the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs win this walking away. And then the AFC South, I got the Tennessee Titans winning it. It's not a great division. I think the Colts will probably be in contention. But I think the Tennessee Titans get the AFC South with 11-6 record. So I had the Bills, Browns, Chiefs, and Titans in the AFC winning their respective divisions. So how about you in the AFC?
Yeah, so for the AFC, for me, I have so this is probably a little bold, but I really think this Miami team's underrated. And one of my biggest problems with last year and just in regards to evaluating rookie quarterbacks, I thought Tua got too much disrespect and just in the regard of, again, coming in during the COVID affected season, no rookie camp, no OTAs, no preseason, none of that. And really just having a tough, a tougher time getting acclimated with the team. Then the flip flop of him and Fitzpatrick and stuff like that. So I think if Tua gets and I believe he will, gets the 100% right to being the starter and really having no outside noise or anything that affecting him, I think they're going to be just fine on offense. And then their defense, I think, is going to be one of the best in the league. You got Brian Flores, who was a former linebackers coach in New England. And you got some of his guys over there from New England in Van Noy and stuff like that. So I really think that this Dolphins team is going to be better than a lot of people think. And I think they're going to be right there neck and neck, obviously, with the Bills for the division. But I'm going to go Miami winning the AFC East. AFC North, I'm going to go Browns. I agree with you on that point 100%. I just don't think the Ravens are fully complete. I think there's still another wide receiver away. J.K. Dobbins is a huge loss for them. That guy can not only run the ball, but I thought he was pretty good in blocking and, great pass catcher out of the backfield. So I think that's going to hurt them a little. I did like what they did on, defense of signing Humphrey to a long-term deal and stuff like that. But they did lose Matthew Judon, I believe, to the Patriots. So that's also going to be a big loss. Cincinnati, again, they need offensive line. So I don't really see them as a threat. And Steelers, I just don't think they're the team that they were a few years ago. Moving into the AFC West, obviously everyone's going with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just an absolute juggernaut. And I think, losing last year in the Super Bowl is really going to put a little fire under them and get them going this year. I have them actually going 15-2 this year. So I think they're only going to lose. I think this week 1 Brown game is going to be huge for them. That could be a potential loss, but not giving hot takes out just yet. We'll save that till Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the final one, the AFC South, I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans again. They're just the best team in that division, in my opinion. I know the Colts, are pretty close, but I think they're better than the Colts. Obviously, the addition of Julio, and just their defense, I think, is very well put together. Again, Mike Vrabel being a defensive guy, I think he'll really, shore that defense up where it needs to be. So, have them at 12-5, and then in regards to the AFC. NFC matchups. I got a repeat of the.
Oh, are we doing the AFC NFC already?
Yeah, we can do that.
Did you do your NFC yet?
Yeah. So the NFC. I'm sorry. So I'll hop to the NFC division picks here. So the NFC East. No bias here, but got the Eagles winning the NFC East here. 9-8, and I know some people might think I'm crazy here, but my logic behind this is. I think it's going to be another very tight division. I got them at 9-8, so it's going to be, very tight. And I think in saying that, a lot of these teams are very evenly matched. Every team has, I don't want to say a gaping hole, but definitely has some holes. I mean, Washington's offense, I know they went out and got Curtis Samuel. I just don't think he's going to really fully put together that offense. Their defense is great. Cowboys flip-flop. Their offense is great, but their defense is not. And the Giants, I think they just get way too much hype. I don't think their offense is that great. I know Galladay is coming over, but I'm not that high on him, and their defense doesn't really scare me. So in saying that, I think there's going to be a lot of splits, and I think the team that can take the 2 games against a division opponent will create that separation and enough separation to win the division. I think the Eagles can do it, and that's why I got them winning. NFC North, obviously Packers. I don't really see anyone threatening them. The Vikings, the Lions, potentially the Bears, but I think they're going to have too much going on with quarterback flip-flops. My hot take here for the NFC West, and it's not really a hot take. All 4 of these teams, I think, has a chance to win the division. But I'm going to go with the 49ers. I just think their defense, fully healthy, is going to be, pretty good. And obviously Sherman leaving, that's going to give someone else the opportunity to step in. I love the idea of dual quarterbacks, Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. So, that really entices me to make this pick. I have 49ers finishing 12-5, and then the final is going to be the NFC South, which is obviously going to be the Bucs. Saints, Panthers, and Falcons are really no threat to the Bucs. I think they might even go 5-1 in all division games. So those are the division picks, and I'll throw it to you for the NFC.
So in the NFC East, unfortunately, I do not have the Eagles winning the division this year. I do have them making a wild card. I did a wild card, and you didn't, but I thought we were going to do them, but I still added them. I still think the Eagles make a wild card, and we'll give out our Eagles. Did you already say the Eagles record? What did you say?
I said 9-8.
All right, so I said 9-8 too. I just haven't won a wild card. So I have Washington winning the division. I like their defense a lot. I actually like Fitzpatrick, and I like the weapons they have around them with Curtis Samuel, who they brought in, Terry McLaurin, Gibson, a running back. So they have a lot of good players to surround them with. I don't think their offense can be anything special. I think it'll probably be like mediocre. But their defense, I think, is top 30. It's got one of the best pass rushes in the NFL, and I think they'll have a good 10-7 years. So I think that they'll win the division. I'm just not 100% confident the Eagles win the division. But I still think that they'll be able to make the playoffs. So NFC North at the Green Bay Packers 13-4. I think it's gonna be a big year for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers last year probably in Green Bay along with Devontae Adams. They just they have a lot of talent, and I think this is a revenge year. I think for Aaron Rodgers, I think he's pissed off at how it ended for him last season. in Green Bay, losing in Tampa Bay. But I think this year it's going to be a bounce back year. I think they have a really good year. I think they're going to make a deep run as well. So NFC West, I actually have the LA Rams. I love the addition of Matt Stafford. And they have a great team around them, obviously. And look at the defense too with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, stars on that defense. They have a really good team. I think it's gonna be a tough division. And actually, I have two. This is gonna be a bold prediction, and I know you're not gonna like this one because I have two other teams in that. I have three teams in that division making the playoffs, and none of them are the 49ers. So
I know you threw that bold take out a little. We're butting heads on that one for sure.
I have Seattle getting the top spot wild card, and I have Arizona being the last one. So I do have the Rams win the division at 12-5, and I just don't think the 49ers can be that good. I think that dual quarterback thing that you brought up, even though I like Lance, I think it's gonna be good. I just think that smells for trouble because as soon as Jimmy Garoppolo starts to struggle, then I'm sure 49er fans are gonna be chanting for Trey Lance. And they're gonna want him in there. So and then the final one, NFC South, Tampa Bay winning the division 12-5. That division is all Tampa Bay's to win. I think with Drew Brees not leaving the Saints, Carolina doesn't really scare me. So really, there's a lot of, and Atlanta as well. They don't really scare me as well if I'm a Tampa Bay fan. So I think Tampa Bay wins the division 12-5. So those are my division winners for the NFC. And I'll start for my NFC. Here we'll do MVP, offensive rookie year, and defensive rookie of the year. So MVP, I got Russell Wilson winning it. I know I don't even have his team winning the division, but I just think that he hasn't even got a vote yet, and he's been one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in my lifetime. He's unbelievable, and the fact he hasn't got a vote, I think it's all about storyline with MVP. So it's a matter of, can the media back you or the fans backing you enough? I think that people are going to be clamoring for Russell Wilson to win an MVP. I think he's going to have a good year. It's all a matter. He always starts really well. It's all a matter if he finishes well. So, and it's going to be a tough division, like I said. So I think that if Seattle does win the division, I think that Russell Wilson has a great shot of winning MVP. And then offensive rookie of the year, there's a little bit of a bold prediction because there's 5 rookie quarterbacks who got drafted in the first round, and I'm sure at least 4 of them are going to be starting. So, and I have to bet at least one of them I think is going to have a really good year. But I'm taking Najee Harris at Pittsburgh. He's going to get the ball a lot. He's going to be the main focus on the running game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to get over 1,000 yards. I think he's going to score a lot of touchdowns. So he's going to be a big factor on that offense. I think he's going to get a lot of touches. I think he's going to have a big year. The defensive rookie year, it pains me to say this, but I think Micah Parsons is going to win it. He's a great player. Dallas could be playing a lot of primetime games because they're the Dallas Cowboys. And I think he's going to be playing a lot. He's going to make a big impact. And I think he wins that award. So those are my MVP rookie of the years as well. If you want to throw yours in before we talk about playoffs.
Yeah, so I know you alluded to how I really like Justin Herbert, and again, this is a bold take. So if you like juicy MVP lines where you can get a good payout, I think Justin Herbert has a shot at the MVP.
He definitely does.
Again, definitely a bold take here, but just in regards to his stats last year, and again, if anyone needs reassurance and was thinking about this, 4,336 yards last year, 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, 98.3 passer rating. So he had a great year last year in the games that he did play. I believe he only missed the first 3 games or 2 games, every 15 games played. So
but I remember he came in because Tyrod Taylor, I think
his lungs, punctured lung or something.
Because I guess they gave him like a cortisone shot or something for his back. The doctor messed it up.
And the doctor, so it was good. It was all Herbert's, opportunity from there. And another thing that I think that will really help his case or really help him reach, better numbers and possibly MVP numbers. And I think he was really underrated last year. He was dealing with some injuries and didn't look like the guy that we normally knew. But it's going to be Austin Eckler. I know they were cycling in a lot of running backs, Joshua Kelly and guys like that. But in 2019, Eckler had 993 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. So if he can get back to that level where he can be that, that option in the backfield and really turn some broken plays into some big plays for Herbert here, I think that could really help his case. Again, like I said, he was dealing with those injuries, so I think he'll be more healthy this year. So that's why I really think Herbert has a shot. He's got Keenan Allen, he's got Mike Williams, he has KJ Hill. I know they did lose Hunter Henry. He wasn't even on the team last year because he was hurt all year. But he has some great weapons on the outside. The offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year are two different guys. So my offensive rookie of the year is actually going to be Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be the best quarterback to come out of this class personally. I think he's surrounded by the best talent that the Jets have had in the skilled positions in the past 5 years. They went out, got a guy, Elijah Moore. They went out, got Corey Davis. They have Denzel Mims. They have some decent tight ends and some running backs who can catch the ball for the Jets. So I think he'll have a great year. Again, I know how you alluded to the primetime games for Parsons. He's obviously not going to have as much opportunity. But again, I think he's going to really make it happen, and he's pretty special. My defensive rookie of the year, and I was actually on the Micah Parsons train with you a few weeks ago, and then saw this kid play in a preseason game and just, showed really what he's capable of and his potential. I think Patrick Surtain is going to be a really good cornerback in this league. And he has a really good opportunity in Denver. Obviously, they don't have a ton of great secondary players. So I think he's going to see a lot of time this year. And I think he's going to be definitely in the defensive rookie of the year talk.
No, I agree. He's going to be a hell of a player. I think he's going to have a big role in that Denver defense as well. And Zach Wilson, I like him too. I like the talent I saw from that preseason game. I think he's gonna have a good year with the Jets. So AFC NFC matchup.
Real quick before you say that, I did say on the show a few weeks ago, just in case people heard this and think I'm switching the pick here.
Yeah,
I did say Justin Fields. I thought he was going to be QB1. So that's why I thought that a few weeks ago.
I don't know why I don't want to go through and do it.
Again, I really don't understand it, but if he misses 2 to 3 games, I think his shot for the rookie of the year, unless he turns it up in the remaining games he plays, are pretty much shot. But I know you're going to give your AFC NFC picks.
Yeah, so I'll do my Super Bowl as well. So AFC NFC, and AFC, I got the Tennessee Titans going on the road to face the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a rematch of 2019, right? So I like Tannehill. And, obviously it all starts with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is probably the best running back in football, just unstoppable in the running game. And now they have Julio across from A.J. Brown. So they got a lot of talent offensively. Against Kansas City, the big names, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and obviously Andy Reid, head coach. They have a lot of big names in Kansas City. And I think Kansas City wins that game. I think it's the favorite, and I think the biggest lock that Kansas City will probably make another. It's hard to win, as much as they have, it's just hard in the NFL to win as much as they have, but they've the best quarterback head coach combo in the league. So I have Kansas City win the AFC, and then in the NFC, I have the Los Angeles Rams led by Matt Stafford going on the road to face the Green Bay Packers. I think Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers at home in Green Bay, I think they right the ship after a disappointing season last year, and they win the NFC to make it Packers Chiefs Super Bowl in Los Angeles. And I think I'm gonna have the Packers win the Super Bowl this year. And Aaron Rodgers last year as a Packer, I think he goes out with a bang, and finally goes back to the Super Bowl to win it against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna probably be a high scoring game. It's hard to predict these things so far out, as we haven't begun the season yet. But I think this is the pick I had last year too.
I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the same pick I had last year. I don't know. I'm confident the Packers this year to get back to the Super Bowl, and I don't see anybody better than the Chiefs in the AFC. I was debating Tennessee, and I was also debating I was also debating Buffalo. I just don't think they're as good as Kansas City. So it's the same pick as last year. Probably won't happen, but I'm gonna go Kansas City, Green Bay with the Packers win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to change the pick up here because I'm a little back there, I'm a little indecisive. I'm a little back and forth.
I was indecisive too. Yeah.
But yeah, the Packers pick to me is a lot of just solely predicated on Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, and the whole, for me at least, I had the Packers, as a preface here, I did have the Packers in the Super Bowl, beating the Buccaneers in the beating the Bucs in the NFC, but I don't think their defense is good enough yet, in my opinion. I just feel like, when they get deep in the playoffs and it really comes down to it, they're just not going to get over that hump. So I'm going to have the Bucs playing the Rams in the NFC Championship. I really love the Rams again.
So you're the Rams.
Yeah,
I think
they're going to make a wild card run.
Make a run. Okay.
I think they're going to make a run. I think they got a good team, and again, they could win the division very well. The NFC the NFC West has been the toughest division to predict over the past 2-3 years, in my opinion.
I think you have 4 viable options to win it. I really do. Like
all 4 teams could win it. Exactly. And even, not to get too far off topic, but in the next year or two, all 4 teams could really win with the defense coming up there in Arizona. But sticking on the AFC, NFC matchup. So NFC matchup, I'm going to have Bucs playing the Rams. And then AFC, I'm going to have the Chiefs playing the Browns. I really like the Browns defense. I think that's really going to get them over the hump. And I think that was their biggest problem last year. The addition of Jadeveon Clowney, a year older for not DeMarcus Ward, Denzel Ward. You have Fuller back there. You have Grant Deplet, who didn't play at all last year. He's coming into the lineup, LSU first-round pick. So I think the defense is really going to guide the Browns. But I have the Chiefs and the Bucs back in the Super Bowl. It's so hard to bet against Tom Brady. I just think with all the guys returning, it's going to be tough, but I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this year. I think they're going to get revenge. I think their O-line's way better. They have Edwards-Helaire. They have Damian Williams coming back, and a great wide receiver core, obviously, and a really good defense. So I think, again, like I said, Chiefs and Patty Mahomes are going to get their second and get a little revenge on Tom Brady and the Bucs.
That would certainly make it an interesting Super Bowl, and it certainly was last year. It's hard. It's so hard that's the thing. Like we have such the Chiefs, we both have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. We both, have the Packers going far. We both have, the Buccaneers going far. I only have the Buccaneers in the NFC title game, but it's just so hard, to
Tom Brady heard
keep
that,
going
man.
Back. What's up?
So Tom Brady heard that he's going to be,
I know, TB.
He's going to be in
I like to think like
NFC
this is the year maybe he starts going downward. It just doesn't happen. He just keeps winning. So I could certainly see it. I mean, they have a really good team. So it's all, if Brady's playing like Tom Brady, then the chance of them being back at the Super Bowl is pretty high. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's the NFL. The reason why the NFL, we're about to wrap up soon. The reason why I love it so much is just so unpredictable. You just don't know where it's going to go. There's going to be the thing is, the division's so hard to predict because there's probably going to be in the whole NFL 2 to 3 teams that just come out of nowhere that we expected to be under 500, and they're in the running for a playoff spot and the win of their division. So that's why I love the NFL. That's why I'm happy it's back. And it's gonna be Thursday, man. It's gonna be fully back. It's gonna be exciting. Gonna be fun. Hopefully it's gonna be a good start to the NFL season. Hopefully the Bucs get the win because fuck Dallas. So I don't like them.
We don't want Dallas. Absolutely not.
We do not want Dallas Cowboys to win. So
a little bit of a biased pick, but I think it's obviously a great bias pick because
it's not that bias. I mean, they are underdogs by 8 points, so it's just pretty hard. It's a hard situation to go to on the first week, go into Tampa and win. So let's go wrap it up here. But Saturday morning, 9 to 11, it's be a 2-hour show for the Connor and Mark show on WCHE. We're gonna have multiple guests on the 2 hours. We're gonna have Eagles guests. We're gonna have a Penn State guest as well. And we're gonna be breaking down the whole Eagles, and if we're gonna be breaking down obviously Thursday's game because we're gonna obviously be able to see it. We're gonna be breaking down all the other games Sunday. College football is gonna be that day, so there's gonna be a couple good games that day. We'll be breaking down. I think Oregon plays Ohio State. It's the biggest game, so we're breaking down college football. Also, the Phillies, man. The Phillies play tonight. They're a game and a half back of the Atlanta Braves, so
don't count them out.
The Red October is still
alive.
There's still a shot, still alive. So we're gonna be breaking down Phillies as well. So that's going to be Saturday mornings on WCHE 9 to 11, a special 2-hour show. And we hope you guys tune in. So thanks again for everybody listening. Make sure you follow us on social media at Connor Mark Show on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll see you guys soon.